I was 50 years old when they called me into the conference room. 23 years with the same company. And just like that, it was over. I walked out of that building thinking my life was finished. I had no idea it was just beginning. My name is David. For over 2 decades, I showed up. I did the work. I kept my head down. I believed that loyalty mattered, that if you gave everything to a company, they'd take care of you. I was wrong. The day they let me go, I didn't just lose a job, I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was without that title, without that routine, without that paycheck. I'd been a regional sales manager since my early 30s. It wasn't glamorous, but it was stable. I had a mortgage, a daughter in college, a wife who believed in me even when I stopped believing in myself. But the truth is, I'd been running on autopilot for years. I wasn't passionate. I wasn't excited. I was just there, surviving, waiting for retirement like it was some kind of finish line. And then one Tuesday morning in March, my boss, someone 10 years younger than me, told me they were restructuring, that my position was being eliminated, that they appreciated my years of service. I cleaned out my desk in 20 minutes. I didn't even say goodbye to most people. I just left. The first week, I pretended everything was fine. I'd wake up, get dressed, leave the house like I was going to work. I'd sit in a coffee shop for hours, scrolling through job listings, sending out resumes. Nothing. Week 2, the panic set in. I was 50 years old, overqualified for some jobs, too old for others. Every rejection felt personal. Every silence felt like proof that I was done. My wife, Karen, she tried to be supportive, but I could see it in her eyes. The worry, the doubt. She never said it, but I felt it. What if he can't find anything? I stopped leaving the house. I stopped shaving. I spent my days on the couch, flipping through channels, pretending I wasn't terrified. One night, Karen sat down next to me. She didn't lecture. She just asked one question. What would you do if money wasn't an issue? I didn't have an answer. A month went by, then 2. My severance was running out. I applied to over 100 jobs. I got 3 interviews, no offers. I felt invisible, like the world had decided I didn't matter anymore. One afternoon, I was cleaning out the garage, something to do, anything to feel useful, and I found an old box. Inside were sketches, blueprints, designs I'd made 25 years ago, back when I thought I might become an architect. I'd given it up. Practical reasons, money, stability, life. I sat there on the concrete floor, holding those drawings, and I realized something. I hadn't just lost a job, I'd lost myself a long time ago. That night I told Karen about the sketches, about the dream I'd buried. She didn't laugh. She didn't tell me it was too late. She said, "So what are you going to do about it?" The next morning, I signed up for an online design course. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't post about it. I just started. At first, it felt ridiculous. A 50-year-old man learning software designed for 20-somethings. But something clicked. The more I learned, the more alive I felt. I started designing small projects, a neighbor's deck, a friend's home office. I didn't charge much. I just wanted to build something again, to create. 6 months later, I had a small portfolio. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. I started posting my work online. I joined local contractor groups. I offered free consultations. Slowly, people started reaching out. A couple wanted to redesign their kitchen. A small business needed a new layout. A retired teacher wanted to turn her garage into an art studio. I wasn't making corporate money, but I was making something better. I was making meaning. One day, a client told me, "You don't just design spaces. You listen. You care. That's rare." It hit me. This is what I was supposed to be doing all along. Not selling products I didn't believe in, not sitting in meetings that didn't matter, but creating, helping, building things that made people's lives better. A year after I was fired, I got a call. It was from a local architecture firm. They'd seen my work. They wanted to bring me on as a consultant, part-time, flexible hours, creative freedom. I almost said no. Imposter syndrome is real at 50. But Karen looked at me and said, "You've already proven you can do this. Now go show them." I took the job. And 6 months later, I designed my first commercial project, a community center in my town, the kind of place I used to walk past and never think twice about. Now, every time I drive by it, I feel something I haven't felt in decades: pride. Getting fired at 50 was the worst thing that happened to me, and the best. I'm not rich, I'm not famous, but I wake up excited. I go to bed fulfilled. I'm doing work that matters, with people who value me. I don't know what would have happened if I'd stayed in that job. Probably nothing. I would have retired at 65, gotten a watch, and wondered what I'd done with my life. Instead, I got a second chance. Not because someone gave it to me, but because I finally gave it to myself. If you're reading this and you feel stuck, whether you're 40, 50, 60, it's not too late. The thing you buried, the dream you gave up, the talent you forgot about, it's still there. You just have to be brave enough to dig it up. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment. Tell me what dream you've been putting off. Let's remind each other that it's never too late to start again. And if you want more stories like this, real people, real struggles, real hope, subscribe, because we're just getting started.